Audio Jungle. One of two fires in St. Catherine results in death of unidentified man. One of two fire incidents in St. Catherine has resulted in the death of a man. The deceased man's identity has not yet been released. The other fire damaged section of a two-story building complex. Head of the St. Catherine Fire Department Superintendent Dennis Lyons told reporters that in the first incident on Yonge Street, 4 units responded. He said only the upper floor of the building was affected. In the second incident, the remains of a man was found following cooling down operations at a dwelling in Lime Tree.
At 11:30 p.m. last night, the brigade received a call of building on fire, number 66 Young Street, which houses Brian's Furniture Store and other agencies. And on our arrival, the brigade observed that the upper floor was engulfed in flames, and we immediately got into operation. The fire was severe because we realized that it's a furniture store and there are a lot of boards and sawdust and so on. So we seek help from the Kingston and St. Andrew Division, Trenchtown, the Old Harbour Fire Station, and the Waterford Fire Station. So we were able, with 4 fire units, we were able to bring the fire under control somewhere at about 3:30 a.m. The investigators are still on the scene. We are combing through everything because the ground floor, which houses a furniture store, that has not been affected. It's the upper floor. So my investigators are still there as I speak. I visited there earlier on this afternoon. They're still there combing through the rubble to see if we can come up with a clue as to where the fire originated on the car. While we were there investigating that fire, there was another fire in Lime Tree in the St. Catherine South area, where after the Waterford Fire Unit was dispatched to that scene, and after the cooling down operation, the body of a male was found inside that building. So I also have the St. Catherine South police at the scene, and also some of my fire investigators. Based on the information received, he lived alone.
Visual arts and tourism communities in mourning following murder of Kenyan-born artist in St. Elizabeth. The visual arts community has been plunged into mourning following the killing of a prominent artist, Kenyan-born Mozola. The 61-year-old had made Jamaica his home for decades and was well known and respected in Treasure Beach area, especially among hoteliers and other tourism interests. The artist was one of 2 persons attacked during a robbery at a home in Bellis Bay, Petro Plains, just after 12 midnight. It's reported that explosions were heard and the police were summoned. The artist was pronounced dead at hospital. The other victim, who is also a foreign national, remains hospitalized in serious but stable condition. In reacting to the murder, Treasure Beach hotelier Jason Hansel expressed alarm and shock. He said the artist was an active member of the tourism community and had plans for a gallery.
Man was a very conscious person. He was an extremely talented artist, and he was really, working with us to make Treasure Beach, bring more art to Treasure Beach in terms of galleries and places to make and display art. And the news of him passing really shook me to the core. And, our condolences go out to his family and his friends. And, it's a very, very unfortunate situation. And I know for a fact that the High Command of the police force are taking this loss very seriously, and that they have vowed to do all they can to bring the perpetrators to justice. But for us, a small little fishing village, which is known to be loving, kind, and full of empathy, it has taken everybody by surprise. And we are praying for the lady who is still in hospital and receiving treatment at this time.
Market meltdown. Sav-La-Mar storm-ravaged market has once again become the center of public frustration and political attention as residents and vendors pledge for urgent repairs and clarity on its future. The facility, badly damaged in Hurricane Melissa, has pushed many vendors onto the streets, intensified congestion downtown, and reignited a long-standing debate about whether the market should be repaired or relocated. On Wednesday, local government minister Desmond McKenzie visited the space, where he met with raw emotions from business owners and vendors who insisted that the market must stay where it has stood for decades. Among the strongest voices was businessman Malik Locke, landlord and owner of gaming lounge in the town, who openly challenged what he believes is an ongoing push to uproot the market from its historical location. Locke, who said he has watched downtown commerce struggling under post-hurricane conditions, did not hide his frustration. From Monday to Thursday, we cannot survive down here. The only day we have down here is from Friday to Saturday. Every plan that have is now to move the market, he said, claiming to have spoken with officials from the Westmoreland Chamber of Commerce about involving him and other concerned residents in drawing up of a market plan. We don't want no craft market, we want the market, and we want the market to fix. Locke speculated that previous government allocations for the market were allegedly never used as intended. The $50 million that Hugh McKenzie gave them from before this storm doesn't spend because they say the market land is too valuable for the market to be on. They want to relocate it. Other plans are to relocate Sav-La-Mar market. He added that vendors have been told of a proposed alternative location, a suggestion he said was rejected by nearby business owners themselves. Locke also insisted that instead of relocation, officials should have supported small infrastructure improvements vendors had repeatedly requested. We begged them to put a simple door right there at the side of the market to ease the pressure of the market. They say it can't happen. Bertrand Moore told me personally, he said it can't happen. All the market need is a good design and a good plan over 5 years now, and it has not happened. Everybody have a plan. It's how to kill downtown. According to Locke, business owners are prepared to help restore the market as long as the government helps them to do so. I own a piece of property down here on Great George Street. If the market move or anything comes, me can't pay my $280,000 property tax. So, sir, we will wait on them and you to fix the market. We have hands and hearts ready to fix the market. We have a council who born and grow here who is willing to fix the market. All we want is help to fix the market. Standing inside the severely damaged facility on Wednesday, McKenzie acknowledged the deteriorating state of the market and said immediate action was necessary. He reminded residents that relocation had been suggested because of the market's coastal vulnerability, but stressed that the final decision would be driven by public consensus and not government preference. My last visit to the market, some funds was allocated to do further work on the market. We did some renovation work on the section of the market, but I'm back today, and this is not a pretty sight. I am of the opinion that the present set of the market based on the closeness to the sea poses a challenge. However, he noted that residents overwhelmingly expressed that the market should remain and he would abide by the position. But I'm listening to the majority of you and I have to go by what you say. If the market is relocated, it means a lot of things will be dislocated, and the government of Dr. Andrew Holness is not about dislocating people. It is to allow people to thrive, to develop commerce. The markets, not just here in Westmoreland, across Jamaica, provide that sort of entrepreneurship to small individuals to allow them to excel. With the state of the market, covered in debris, waterlogged and consumed by stench, Mackenzie said cleanup would begin immediately. I've said to the mayor and to the technical team in the ministry that immediate work must commence in starting to clean out the market. That's the first thing we have to do, clean out the market. Once we clean out the market, I'm going to encourage those who can find a space to come in to come off the street. He added that no market fees would be collected at this time due to the current conditions, and the Social Development Commission (SDC) would conduct wide consultation before any long-term decision is made. There can be no decision around collecting market fee at this time because that is not an option. I have asked the SDC to do a survey. Any decision that we're going to take has to be predicted on information from the general population, not just from myself as a minister or the mayor or a group of people sitting in a room. The minister emphasized that repairs will not be immediate, but promised that Westmoreland is now his priority following widespread hurricane devastation. Meanwhile, 8-year-old vendor Monica Foster said the argument over the relocation feels far removed from her daily struggle to survive outside of the broken building. Forced onto the street walk with a small cart, she said conditions have been unbearable even before Melissa had done any damage. It was very slow and inconvenient. The market definitely was in a bad state, so people hardly come inside. Because they buy from outside, so we hardly get a sale on the inside. However, she said she's optimistic that following the minister's visit on Wednesday, sales will pick up from the indoor vendors. He said working outdoor has been exhausting and also worries about how she will cope if the market current condition is further prolonged. But it's rough, it's not ideal out there. I want to come into the market. Foster explained that the roof above where her stall was originally situated was where one section had been destroyed. The roof gone and the water coming in. And then they spent money to build the part and nobody going in there, she said, referring to a newly built piece of the market at the back. She said the current state of the market is heartbreaking. It's terrible and it needs fixing because most old people are in there and they have to take up their things from outside. So we need it to fix. And if they would even clean it up, clean it up. But they're not doing anything, not one thing. Foster said she doesn't believe the sea will pose a real threat to the market, even though she has watched other buildings like her church relocate because of similar concerns and having lived in downtown Sav-La-Mar for years. She also believes that the market should remain in downtown Sav-La-Mar because of the strong sense of familiarity it holds for generations. When I was a child, the market was right here, so moving the market now is a big problem. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.